All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Swamp Witch Knits podcast. My name is Emily. I'm coming to you from the middle of a thunderstorm in my house in Pensacola, Florida, where I live with my 3 dogs and 2 cats and boa constrictor snake. So in this podcast, I just like to talk about my knitting primarily, but sometimes some other crafty little rabbit holes. Today, I do want to talk to you about something that I'm really excited about. I've gotten back into pottery, so I am taking a wheel throwing class, and this is like the third year that I've been doing pottery, and I'm still quite a beginner. But I do have a wheel at home that is currently collecting cobwebs. Maybe I will get back into that, I guess. I don't know, but I'm starting to dip my toes back into it, at least with a class. So I'll share some of the stuff that I've been working on with that a little bit later, and then I wanted to talk about some of my whips that I've been working on, some projects that I talked about last time, and then give y'all a little update on my fall project that I'm excited about doing, which is unraveling my very first ever colorwork sweater and re-knitting it the right way. So that's going to mean actually doing a swatch, which I have never successfully done before. So, oh, by the way, the hippopotamus in the room is Fiona. This is my little dog, Fiona. She's a little rescue dog that came into our clinic one day, and I fostered her, intending not to have 3 dogs and to find her a home, but alas, she decided that it was she was going to live here with us permanently, so so her name is Fiona, after the hippopotamus at the Columbus Zoo, Fiona, because I thought her cute little short leggies made her look like a little hippo. So I also call her a corn dog because she's the perfect little yellow corn dog shape. And when she rolls into a ball, she's a bagel. So she has a couple different forms. But right now she's my co-host. So yeah, we'll just have her here. I think it's because of the thunder. Actually, my border collie Izzy is by my feet. She's so scared of storms. So everybody is just hanging out very close to me right now, and you might hear some thunder in the background, but that's summer in Florida, so it's very hard to pick a day in the summer here where it's not thundering. Okay, so let's jump right in. We'll start off with what I'm wearing. So this is my finished Arcuate vest, and I made this back in June. I made this for my trip to Vermont so I could wear it on 4th of July, so I'm going to be really awkward and show you guys on the couch. But it hits right at my, top of my pants, so just really nice fitting, and you can see these cables here, and then I added in some contrast colors because I did intend to wear this for 4th of July, and I was able to do that, and it was really cute. I made it, primarily the main color is this, let's see if oh my gosh, that's such a bright light, KC yarns. This was from, I believe, Joanne Fabric. It was on sale for $4. So I got a couple of them. It's very, very soft. This is a 100% cotton. It's super soft, and it doesn't really have any shine to it. I guess it kind of looks shiny in this lighting because the ring light is so bright, but this doesn't have a shine to it, and it's quite soft, very comfortable. And I for the price, you can't beat it. This was, I think this is a Lion brand, 100% cotton, and it is pretty shiny. And I think a lot of people make accessories and bags out of this yarn. It is so they're a little bit different. So this is just a plied yarn, and then this one is it's probably gonna blow out here, but this is a chainette yarn. So I And again, like very affordable. I want to say it was like $3 or $4 a ball. It was on sale, but you know, they're always having sales at Joanna. Okay, yeah, I know, I love you too, but you need to go over here. Yes. So I have like a ton of this left. I got a red and just a true, where is it? A true blue, because I wanted just very American, you know, classic style colors, and I think it came out so pretty, so classic. I love the neckline, just it's very sharp V-neck. It's just very preppy and cute and classic, and I think I'm going to be able to get a lot of wear out of this, you know, even not 4th of July. So yeah, I just love it. I think it's going to be a good fall sweater here. It's not a little bit, it's too hot. I can't wear this now in July in Florida, but probably by maybe, we have a couple of nice days in September if we're lucky, and then I think in October, you know, there are going to be some days where I can definitely wear this, and then with like a tee underneath it in November perhaps. So I did wear it to work with a white t-shirt under it, and it was really cute. So I think I'm going to get some wear out of it. I really like it. So that's the Arcuate vest, and it knit up so fast. It's a worsted. I think she has it in worsted. It might be DK. I need to go back and look. But this yarn, I think is, oh my gosh. Actually, I think it's DK. But it knit up so fast. The cables were really, really fun. And just very, I don't know, it just like went by fast, you know, and I really like that. I'm used to knitting with a lot of fingering weight yarns, you know, just to make lightweight things here. So it was fun to use a heavier weight yarn because it was in this cotton. So yeah, I would make something with it again. I did put some elastic in the neckline and the armband here because it is 100% cotton, and I figured it would kind of, it might lose its shape. So I just wove in a strand of very thin elastic just so that the armbands and the neckband would keep their shape. And overall it's really cute. I've run it through the washer and dryer twice, and it held up perfectly. So yeah, just super nice. Really cool to make something out of an affordable yarn. So okay, that's what I'm wearing. Let's move on to some whips. So the first whip I talked about last time in the podcast was my favorite things knitwear tee number 1, and I've made a ton of progress on it, you guys. It's so pretty. So I have gone all the way down, finished the body, and I bound off it, so it's a really pretty folded over hem, as you can see here, and then it's bound off, folded over. It's just so nice. I really enjoyed doing this. I've knit some of her other patterns. I think I learned this when I did the levitate, the 3 levitate reps that I did last year. So when you fold over the hem and knit it to itself, she does have, so you knit half of the rows, and then you do a purl row, and then you knit the other half, and then you knit it to itself basically in the bind off. I personally don't like the way that purl row looks right here on the end. You know, I just don't like the way that it looks. I know it's there so that it folds over really neatly and lays flat, but I think if I just gently iron this or work on it with my blocking, I think it's going to be just fine. I think it's going to lay really nicely, and I like the way it looks better without the purl row, so I didn't include that. And another thing that I did, and she does recommend this in the pattern, is I only did this in the first row of the oh my gosh, geez. It's not really ribbing, it's just the bottom hem. So the first row of the bottom hem, I held my yarn with some contrast color embroidery floss, just like one strand of it, and that way it marked that first row, because when you fold it over, you need to stay on the same row when you're binding it off so it's not, uneven. And I did not do that in the first Levitate wrap that I made on like the first sleeve or something, and it was so hard to keep track of what row I was trying to bind off on. So that definitely helps. That was really, really helpful this time. I would not skip that step because I feel like I just get lost. But so yeah, I think it came out so pretty on the bottom, and I have been able to try it on, and it fits me really, really well. This is a pattern that's intended to have a couple of inches of positive ease. It's just a really pretty relaxed t-shirt pattern. I'm really excited to do the neckline because I feel like everything kind of looks, I'm holding it backwards. Everything looks more finished and pretty with the neckline done. And then the sleeves are gonna come down pretty far, almost to my elbows. So I am so happy with how this is turning out. I'm knitting this in Malabrigo Sussurro, and it is the colorway Polar Morn. I have used up almost 3 skeins of this yarn so far because it's a pretty tight gauge. I'm knitting this on size 4. Can you see that? Yeah, knitting it on size 4. So this pattern does take a lot of yarn, and I did end up having to go to the yarn store and get a 4th skein because I'm going to run out in time to do the sleeves. But I intend to use that color and that type of yarn, that Sussurro. I think it is a nice yarn for here in Florida, so I wasn't too bummed about it. I think I'm gonna end up doing some more projects, so having some extra of that on hand is not really the end of the world. But it did make it out to be quite an expensive sweater because that yarn is, I want to say it's around like $30 or something for a skein. It's sport weight, so not the cheapest, but I do think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. It's a very nice neutral, beautiful silvery gray color, and yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm making a lot of progress on this. I will probably continue to work on it this week. I kind of put it away last night because it was Friday night. I was really just exhausted and over it from work, and I didn't feel like picking up for the sleeves. Sometimes you just need an easy, mindless thing. So okay, so my next whip is, I showed you guys this last week. This is the Direction Loop tee by Other Loops, and it's wet right now because I have been trying so hard to get a stain out. I had this in my bag, and I think coffee stained on it, so you can still see it. It's right. If you haven't seen it, it's right. Oh God, sorry, didn't mean to flip y'all off. It's right there. It's still pretty noticeable, and I have tried soaking this thing in OxyClean multiple times. I tried the Shout spray, and I tried this other stain remover that I can't remember the name of right now, but I went to the knitting store and I asked my friend who owns it, I asked her if she knew of any stain remover. She gave me a sample of that, and I was like so hopeful, but nothing has totally gotten rid of the stain. I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to start over, because if this was for me, I would probably just be like, whatever, it doesn't really matter to me that much. But this is for my friend for her birthday. I always make her, for the last couple of years, I make her a birthday sweater, and I just don't like it being stained. I'm not going to give someone a gift with a stain on it. So I'm just going to start over. Her birthday's in the middle of September, so I do have plenty of time, but yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. It's wet because I tried the Shout again just before filming, but I think it's there to stay. So we had talked about, me and my friend who this is for, we talked about bringing it to my neighbor who dyes beautiful yarn and seeing, if she could over dye it in a certain, just like a little bit of a darker shade or something, which I think could be cool. But to be honest with you, it's not like I completely finished the sweater and I spilled on it. It's like I'm not even done with the yoke. So it's DK. I'll start over. It's not the end of the world. It really should be a learning experience for me not to put my knits in the same bag where I like throw my travel mug. So maybe it will. Like maybe this will be growth for me. But yeah, I don't know. I love the way it looks though, so I definitely want to start over. Okay, the last whip that I have active right now is really cute. I didn't show you all this last time. So this is, oh my gosh, I just had it out. Where did it? All right, we're back. Okay, this is the Maggie Cardigan by Petite Knit, and it's a little really cute short sleeve cardigan that is knit up in fingering weight. I thought it would be a really great, really versatile, I don't know, I can't get comfortable. Okay, I thought it would be a really great, really comfortable cardigan to wear at work, and because I do work with animals, I wanted it to be kind of a tighter gauge so that it would hold up a little bit better to paws and claws. My beautiful Elton cardigan that has a giant hole in it now that I have to fix because of a angry cat. So I thought this would be the perfect weight for here in Florida. It's got those cute short sleeves, just enough to keep my shoulders warm in the air conditioner, and so I can wear like cute tank tops and stuff to work and have this over it so it's work appropriate. This is the yoke. This is all I have so far, but I love it. It's such a beautiful color. This yarn is Willow Tree Fibers by my neighbor Kathy, so just a couple houses over. She dyes this absolutely beautiful yarn in her kitchen, and she sells it only at our local yarn store. But look at this beautiful color. It is just so stunning. This blue, this baby blue tonal. It's so nice. This is one of my most favorite colors. So when I saw it on the wall at the yarn store, it definitely had to be mine. So I was really tempted to make a pretty like lacy blouse out of this. This is a bamboo, merino wool, and silk blend, and I think it's going to be just so beautifully light for a cardigan, but I also thought it could work well for some sort of tank top or t-shirt. But I just think I'm gonna get more wear out of this really cute little short sleeved cardigan. And I've been needing more cardigans in my wardrobe. I just have I wear them quite a lot at work, so I'd like some more that I've made myself that actually fit well. Because the ones that I've made the little yellow sweater by Andrea Mowry, and it's so beautiful. It took me forever. It's a really tight gauge. I think it's a fingering weight. It's knit on size 3, so it's like took me a really long time. It's got like beautiful lace pattern, but the neckline, I think it's intended to be worn buttoned up because the neckline comes up pretty high and it's sort of like this oval shape. It's pretty. I was too lazy to put buttons on mine. And I also don't tend to wear my cardigans buttoned up. It's too hot. It kind of, for me, defeats the purpose of a cardigan because it's too hot here to wear them buttoned up unless it's the middle of winter. So it's very pretty, but I don't really wear it. I wore the crap out of my Elton cardigan because it's so loose and flowy. Didn't put buttons on that one either. But that one is out of commission right now until I am brave enough to try to repair the ripped mohair stripes. So instead of just doing a repair that might take me an hour, I am just gonna spend weeks knitting a whole new sweater because that logically makes sense. Oh man. Anyway, I'm excited about this though. I think it's gonna just be so versatile and cute, like wearing it out to dinner, and I think this color, like, not to toot my own horn, but I do think that this blue color looks really pretty on me. So yeah, just all in all, pretty excited about that. So my last little knitting project, I took some pictures today of my Ixchel sweater that I knit in 2021. I purchased this yarn kit for myself for my birthday. It was very, very special to me. I purchased the actual recommended Magpie Fibers kit, and it's so stunning. This is Swanky Socks, so it's a mohair nylon silk blend. It's very, very soft and beautiful, and just the colors are just gorgeous. Love it. It looks like a night sky. This is just the gauge is all wonky. I actually took some gauge photos today with my little gauge swatch tool. Isn't that funny that I have that and I've never actually made a swatch, but I do actually have the tools for it. I took a couple of gauge swatches from all over the sweater, and it's just like so wildly different. So like this gauge here up in the top of the yoke is so big, and then it's a little smaller down towards the bottom. I think I might have gotten a little more comfortable with knitting the color work, and then the sleeves are way tighter because they're not color work down here. I'm just knitting in the rounds, so the gauge is just so much smaller in the sleeves. And because the gauge is like wildly loose up in the top, like the armpits just like that's huge. It doesn't fit. So, and I don't particularly like how the loose gauge looks. I think it looks a bit sloppy. I just think the stitches don't look as nice as they could. So I will be frogging this and I will be re-knitting it, but I will be making a gauge swatch to make sure that I am knitting the correct size. I believe I knit whatever the equivalent to like a size medium is pretty much what I knit in every pattern. So I'm gonna be doing that, and so today I took some pictures of me wearing this sweater and some pictures of like the different parts of the sweater, like the bind off on the sleeves, and on the bottom the bind off also like flares out in a way that I don't love. And you know, it was my first colorwork sweater. It was one of my first sweaters I've ever knit. I think this might have been my third sweater. So, I think I did, for all things considered, a really good job. I just think this is going to be fun because I really want to wear this sweater. And I think I'm going to get more wear out of it if it fits me appropriately. I think it's just going to be more comfortable. So that is going to be my journey for the fall. I'm really hoping to have this sweater done by the spooky season, October, November, just to have it as my kind of Halloween spooky, beautiful fall sweater situation. So ideally, I'd like to wear it to a party at my house. Not looking forward to going out to like somebody else's house or somewhere else for a party. But if I don't have to leave my home, then like that's perfect. So we, in the past, we've done like a little fall witchy party, and with just people, everybody brought over some snacks, and we drank some wine and just had a great time, and it was just a very nice, like, chill evening. And I think that's something that I'm gonna do again this year, and I would really like to wear this sweater at that event. So that's kind of the goal, is to have it done by that event. So I'll keep you guys in the loop. I have been watching some videos on how to unravel and repurpose your yarn. So my plan for it is to start at the bottom hem, find where I wove it in, and unravel this. And I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna unravel it into a cake on my ball winder, like just sort of unravel it with the crank, and then I think I'm gonna take it from the ball winder onto my umbrella umbrella swift, and have it as and then get it into, just like a skein again. And then I'm going to soak the yarn to get all of the kinks out, or I saw this video where this person actually steamed it. So she had a kettle boiling and she just kind of held it over the steam of the kettle, and you could see how the kinks came out of it. And the reason I think that might be a better choice for me is because I'm very, very worried about the yarn tangling if I put it in the bath. So like I just have these visions of it like getting like, I don't know, just like I just tangly, and then I put it back on the Swift, and then I try to wind it up and it's just a mess. And I think I can just hold it more steadily and not have it kind of float all around and tangle itself up if I am holding it over the steam. Like, I'm intending to put little ties on it when it's on the Swift to keep it from tangling too much. I don't know if I'm explaining that. I'll actually make a video, but I'm gonna tie it so it's kind of, I'm just like reversing the process of winding your ball of yarn. So I think, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. And then of course it's colorwork, so I'm gonna have to manage 2 different colors of yarn. So I'm a little nervous, you guys, that this is gonna be a total headache mess in the unwinding and repurposing. And as you can see, there are so many ends. I don't know if this is just gonna stress people out, so look away if that stresses you out. But like, the yellow yarn in particular is in a lot of different pieces. So I have been kind of mulling over how I'm going to approach that as well, because unraveling it's gonna be in multiple little balls. So, I don't know. I think I just got to go for it and know that it's gonna be some extra steps. I mean, could I maybe reorder the yellow and just get a ball of the yellow by itself? I could, but we'll see. We'll see what I'm left with after I unravel this. But the point is to like reuse the yarn and not be wasteful. So I think I can do it. I think it's gonna be fine. But yeah, I'll put my pictures in of me wearing the sweater before, and then as I unravel it, I'll take you guys along. Hopefully that's not stressful. I'm trying so hard to prepare so I do things correctly and don't stress people out that are watching. But just know that this is the first time I've ever done this, so I probably am not going to do things like exactly perfectly maybe, but I'm going to try my best. All right, so that's kind of it for my knitting content. If you guys are interested in my little ceramics foray, then please stick around. But if you are not, then thank you so much for chatting with me. If this is your first time, thanks for watching. If you're a returning viewer, wow, thank you for coming back. All right, so let's just jump in. So I'm pulling out a notebook because I have been drawing little critters that I intend to paint on my pottery. So I really want to get some things made for a fall market that my art center that I do my pottery at throws every year. So back up, they throw in the early week, like first week of October, they do this really cool event called the Pumpkin Patch, where the glass blowers in the studio have been working for months making these gorgeous blown glass pumpkins. And then also the people who do ceramics, we make these just hand-thrown pumpkins. So really, really cool. And so many people participate in it. And it's this huge event. It's at the Blue Wahoo Stadium, so our little minor league baseball stadium. And I actually think this year it's not going to be there. I think it's going to be at the art center itself because they've redone the parking lot and they're going to get like, I think they're planning to put a stage in and like make it this whole event there. But in the past, it's been on the baseball field at our stadium locally, and it's just been tables and tables and tables of these gorgeous handmade pumpkins. And you buy tickets to go into the event, and then you know, people love it. People load up on these pumpkins, and all these local artists, you know, it's one of their, if not the biggest sale event of the year for a lot of our local artists. And I've never been advanced, I'm not going to say good enough, I have not been advanced enough at ceramics to make a closed form. It's pretty hard to throw something and then close the top in, and that's what you need to do to make a pumpkin. So I have not been able to do it in years past, and spoiler alert, I'm not doing it this year either because I still can't make a closed form. Or I guess I'm not going to say can't, I'm just going to say I don't have the desire to learn at this point in what I'm excited about in ceramics. It's just not what I'm excited about at this point. So I don't want to. And it's my hobby and I can do what I want. So I'm not going to be doing the pumpkin patch. However, I think it's the week or two after the pumpkin patch, there's another sale, and it's called the Harvest Sale. And that is where a lot of the pumpkins that didn't sell at Pumpkin Patch are discounted. And then all of these other vendors come in, and you can kind of sell whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a pumpkin. So I primarily like to make mugs, wine glasses, and bowls. And I like to paint on them. Before I did ceramics, like for my entire life, I've drawn and painted. So really just making ceramics are really just like me making little canvases for myself. So I thought it would be really fun this year to really put a lot of time in and make some spooky, cute Halloween themed items. And I think I'm going to make some fall themed items as well, and perhaps even a couple little like winter Christmas things, because I think people might be Christmas shopping as well. But I want to make a cohesive collection. So I have been dreaming up things to paint on these ceramics, and I'm really excited about it. So I came up with like little critters that are ghosties. So this guy's a little raccoon, and at first I was like, oh, he's just trick-or-treating and has his little his little candy dish. But then I was like, no, this little guy is running. Like, he wants to get to the candy first. So I was like, he gotta run fast. And then I tried to like figure out how to do a tortoise, which maybe I'll do a tortoise. I don't know. I'm not in love with any of these iterations. And then this guy is a little possum, and he's just trotting. Like, he's gonna get there, you know? So, and then I also, on my iPad, I've been drawing too. So I drew a fox on my iPad, and I'll put in some pictures that my friend sent me. So my first little draft of these things has come out of their first firing, and I'm just so excited with how they look so far. So the next step, now that the greenware, so when you throw pottery before it is fired, it's called greenware, and then you do an initial fire at a lower temperature, and that is called bisque firing, and then you can glaze your bisqued items at that point, and they're hard, so you can add glazes, or what I like to work with are called underglazes. So it's really just pigmented, watery kind of clay, and I just use them as paints, and they actually work like paint because they come out of the kiln, they stand up to the high temperatures, and they don't really change color much. They might get a little bit darker, but they don't. What the color you're using is like the color you're getting, right? So if like I'm using orange and I can mix colors and all that stuff, I can use them like paint. Whereas glaze is like is glass, essentially. And sometimes the color that it is in its non-fired form is very, very different than the color that you actually get after it's fired and it turns into glass on the outside of your pottery. So you can't really use glaze to, the degree that you can use underglaze for painting and making images. So what I have been doing is I took my greenware cups and I painted on the greenware so that my colors could, I'm painting clay on clay. So when I fire that, it's going to be less likely to like chip and come off because it's in one piece. They like the liquid clay. It's just you kind of like want clay to be at the same like degree of dryness when you're working with it and putting pieces together. Like if you're putting a handle on, you want the handle that you've made to be the same like level of wet as the cup, because it's just going to meld into one piece and going to be less likely to crack or come apart. So that's why I paint my colors on the greenware, so the unfired clay, and then it went through the firing. It's really cute so far, and now that it's bisqued, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an underglaze pencil. So it's just a like a wooden pencil, and instead of lead it has underglaze and it's black, and I'm just going to draw all of the lines, so outline it and put in details and everything, and then I'm going to do some sort of color for the background. Have not decided. I think it might be like a dusky purple, just be kind of twilight colored, and I'm gonna have them, you can't see it in the photo that I'm gonna show, but on the other side of the cups is like a big bowl of candy with a little sign that says take one. So I'm gonna make a couple more, I think, of these cups and mugs with these little critters on them. So people, I don't know if anyone's going to want to buy them, but if anyone does buy them and wants more than one, they kind of can get different animals and they'll be cohesive and matching. So yeah, I'm excited. Today, I think I would like to work on these two pieces of greenware that I made. These are two new pieces that I threw in my first class back. So I had to like remember how to throw again, and I had to like squish a lot of pieces. I basically only got, out of the 3 hours, I only got 2 pieces that I actually kept. So this is just, I think, going to be a cup. And another thing, you have to take into account shrinkage. So right now, this clay is not fired, so it still has a lot of moisture in it, believe it or not, even though it feels very dry. So when I put this in the kiln, all of the moisture is going to be cooked out of it, so it's going to shrink, and it shrinks about 12%. So right now it feels pretty big. Like I wouldn't want to hold this in my hand as a cup. It's too big for me to hold comfortably. However, it's going to shrink about 12%, and I think it's going to be a really nice size once it is fired. And it was also too dry for me to put a handle on, so it had to be a cup. Sorry. But I think I'm going to make another little critter, a little ghosty critter running on it. And it can either be a cup to drink liquids out of, or just like a cute little decorative cup that you put pencils in and stuff on your desk. And then this is just a bowl. Again, like I was just getting back into remembering how to make pottery. So, I just threw a cute little bowl. This is going to be quite small after it's thrown. I think it's going to be even smaller really than a cereal bowl. Like I would love it if it stayed this size. This is perfect. But it's going to shrink. So it might be a little, I don't know. I mean, it'll still be a cute functional bowl. Like you don't need every bowl to be, not everybody is like me and needs every bowl that they eat out of to be giant, so it seems like their portion sizes aren't big. Yeah, so I hope to put some decor on those things today, and maybe tomorrow we'll meet my friend in the studio for some open studio time to do some glazing and to add some handles to some pieces that I made this week. So, all right, anyway, thank you guys for sticking around, listening to me ramble about my very amateur pottery and my very amateur knitting. So yeah, it's been so nice to catch up. Very happy to be back podcasting, trying to do this a bit more regularly this fall. All right, well, y'all go on, have a great weekend, have a great week. I hope that you enjoy whatever you are crafting and making right now. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.